Hi, everyone, and welcome. I am so glad you're here with us. Today is one of those rare days where we get to hit pause on the pressure, the deadlines, the inbox chaos, and actually look ahead. As marketers, we're constantly in delivery mode, right? We don't often get the space to step back and say, what should the way we create actually look like? What should it feel like? What could it unlock if it was just easier, faster, better? That's what today is about, or at least the time we have together. Not AI for AI's sake, not another trend cycle, but really a more strategic, less reactive way of working, where the manual copy paste work finally gets out of the way and marketers can spend time on their ideas, insights, and the creative decisions we're actually great at. What you'll see today isn't theoretical. It isn't a vision deck. These are real workflows, real campaigns, and real marketers who've already had their hands on what we're about to show you. But before we begin, let me walk you through who you're going to learn from and what you can expect. First, you'll hear from Pierce Ujjainwalla, Knak's co-founder and CEO. He's going to talk about what's changing in the way marketers work and why it matters now, and the opportunity this next era creates for every team. Then our VP of Product, Moshfeghi, will take you through the first reveal. He'll show you how we're thinking about creation differently, and most importantly, what it looks like in action. After that, we'll move into my favorite parts, early reactions. We invited a small group of respected voices in the marketing and creative community that you know and love to try this first and share their feedback. Kate Mosley, Knak's senior product manager, captured their experience, what surprised them, what clicked immediately, and what it felt like to work in a completely new way. From there, Rod will give you a look on what's coming next and how this foundation will continue to evolve. And then we get to one of the highlights of today, a conversation between Brendan Farnand, Knak's co-founder and chief evangelist, and Jeff Canada from OpenAI. They're going to share why teams like OpenAI are using Knak, what stood out when they got hands-on with what you're going to see today, and how they're thinking about the future of AI-powered campaign creation in an enterprise. My hope for you is simple. I want you to leave today inspired and also equipped. Inspired by what's finally possible and equipped with something you could take back to your team and say, we can actually do this. This isn't just a science project, this is real. So with that, it's my honor to introduce someone who had spent the last decade pushing our industry forward. Pierce Ujjainwalla is Knak's co-founder and CEO, and he started Knak because he believed marketers deserved a faster, more intuitive way to bring ideas to life. And that belief has shaped everything we're about to share with you. Pierce, the stage is yours.
Thanks, Jenny. I am super excited to be here with everyone today. Today is a big day for marketers everywhere. 10 years ago, when I started Knak, it was because as a marketer, I felt it was way too hard to build great emails and landing pages. I'm proud that Knak pioneered the shift from code to drag and drop, and that together, our customers and over 20,000 marketers have created millions of campaigns faster and easier than ever before. Then, tools like ChatGPT emerged, and we immediately saw another massive shift coming. A chance to reimagine how marketers create. And speaking of ChatGPT, I'm incredibly excited to have Jeff Canada from OpenAI with us today. This next chapter actually began 2 years ago when we started exploring what the next step change could be. If drag and drop replace coding, what does Gen AI replace? What if tedious manual creation could disappear altogether? Before we show you how it works, here's why we built it. It still takes way too long to go from idea to launch. There are coding bottlenecks, expensive agencies, over-engineered workflows, and siloed tech stacks. And expectations keep going up. More volume, more personalization with fewer resources. Something had to change. And thankfully, we've entered a new era, the AI era. AI brings incredible new capabilities to marketers, and I cannot wait to show you what we've built in just a few minutes. But before that, I want to share the mindset behind Knak AI because it matters. Our core belief is simple. AI should empower marketers, not replace them. Marketers are still the ones who understand nuance, outcomes, customers, and brand. Gen AI can handle the heavy lifting, the creation in the middle, but marketers stay at the start and finish. You set the intent. You review, edit, collaborate, and approve. That balance is critical to protecting creativity and brand, and that's the future we're building towards. I also want to acknowledge that we're not the first to bring agentic AI into email and landing page creation, but we are the first to solve 3 of the hardest problems. 1, Knak is more than just copy. You don't want to write in one tool and build in another. You want one platform for the entire workflow. 2, no templates or code required. Templates are rigid. They limit creativity and they limit AI. 3, fine-grained editing without prompt whack-a-mole. You have full WYSIWYG editing and prompt-based control. So if your leadership team is asking you, do more with less, experiment with AI, or simply innovate, you're gonna love what we've built. I can honestly say that after building an email with this new product, that I will never go back to the old way. With that, I'm excited to hand things over to our VP of Product, Rod, who's gonna reveal, for the first time ever, the next era of campaign creation with Knak AI.
Thank you, Pierce. Now let's check out the product. When I was preparing what to show you first, I kept coming back to this idea. Start with something real. Not a canned demo, not a perfect example, something we actually use. So I thought, what could be more real than the emails that brought you here today? A lot of you got 2 to 3 invites from us. I'm going to show you exactly how we made them start to finish using Knak AI. This is the landing page for today's event. And the moment this page went live, we needed emails, fast, to start getting you all registered. In the old world, that meant copy docs, back and forth edits, finding assets, rebuilding everything in the platform. You know the drill. But with Knak AI, all I have to do is give it the URL of the landing page, tell it what I need, and within moments, it starts to generate a full first version of our event invite, not mock-ups, a real email. Layout, structure, messaging built from the content on this page. And from there, we made a few small tweaks, added an image or 2, and that was it. This is the same email a lot of you opened. Ready instantly, responsive instantly, on brand instantly. This is the real story here. Moments like this, when timing matters, when teams are stretched, when campaigns need to move now, Knak AI collapses hours of work into minutes. Let's take a look at another example together, one that gets at something we believe is core to the future of AI. It's not just about generating content, it's about making your team smarter every time you use it. And a huge part of this is this, taking the success of your past and applying them to whatever you need next. So imagine that first invite didn't perform well as we had hoped. But I know I had an email last year that crushed it with this exact same audience. With Knak AI, I can take a screenshot of that high performer, literally just a screenshot, and drop it into Knak AI and ask the AI to use it as inspiration for a brand new asset. What you're seeing here is me taking one of our top performing emails from Adobe Summit last year, same audience, same tone, completely different moment. And this time, instead of using a landing page, I'm pairing the screenshot with my campaign brief as input into generating my new email. Because the real magic here is how Knak understands intent, the structure you liked, the energy that worked, and reinterprets it for a totally new message. In fact, let me ask it to lean into FOMO, really dial up that urgency of, you don't want to miss this. You'll notice as the prompt forms, I can actually see what's being built. It's transparent, it's editable. I stay in control. And now, let's take a look. Right away, you can feel it. The FOMO, the urgency, the creativity. We've even pulled out all the stops, including cheetahs. And if you remember our Martinis and Martech campaign, the look and feel is instantly recognizable, but completely reimagined for today. Again, desktop looks great, mobile looks great, and just like that, we've built our second event invite. Two completely different approaches, two production-ready assets, minutes apart. We've talked a lot about generation, how fast it is, how flexible it is, but no matter how good AI gets, humans will always be in the loop, and that with that comes errors. Here's another version of our invite made by humans on our team. Like any human created asset, it needs that final check. Here you can see it catching something simple but important, our brand name spelled incorrectly. One click, fixed, no hunting, no cross-checking. But it also catches things that are far more subjective. For this event, I told Knak our voice should lean into the future, strong, direct, confident. And it flagged that my subject line was written in future tense instead of present tense, which is actually a weaker choice. Again, a few clicks and boom, it's fixed. This is the beauty of Optimize and Knak AI. Together, they're actually quietly scanning everything in the background: brand voice, tone, accuracy, consistency, just like Optimize already does for common mistakes, like links, accessibility, and formatting. Now, let's take a look at the back end of how these rules are defined. In Knak, you can create a brand voice that isn't just used during generation. It's enforced as content is created, edited, reviewed, and approved. Here's the rule for spelling our brand name and product names correctly. And here's the rule for writing an active voice using direct language, staying in tense that makes your message strongest. Knak catches all of it, silently, consistently, every time. So no matter where your team is on the AI curve, whether you want AI to generate the first draft or simply protect your brand, Knak meets you there. Okay, one last example. We've talked about promotion, invite generation, inspiration, and brand governance, but I want to show you something every marketer feels in their bones: the follow-up. Because if the invite is urgent, the follow-up is chaos. Who here has wrapped up a webinar event only to immediately start getting messages from sales, customer success, your exec team? Where's the recording? When can I send something out? How fast can we follow up? So I want to show you something real that happened last week. A handful of you were part of our customer advisory board meeting, and what you may not know is the follow-up email you received was generated simply by dropping the meeting transcripts into Knak AI. That's it. No rewriting, no distilling pages of notes, no fighting with formatting. Knak took the raw transcript, understood the key points, the tone, the themes, and assembled a clean, organized, on-brand follow-up that got everyone on the same page instantly. And this is where we see the future going. Sales notes, event transcripts, call recordings, meeting summaries. Any source of context can be turned directly into a polished follow-up fast. It makes that moment after an event when everything is urgent, smooth, calm, and actually kind of delightful. And that's the power of Knak AI, whether it's the first email in your campaign or the last one. Now, I'm going to hand it over to one of the key folks on my team, Senior Product Manager for Knak AI, Kate. Kate, take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm Kate. I'm the product manager behind everything that you just saw. If you've ever joined one of our alphas, you've probably seen me in your inbox or on a call. Over the past few weeks, we've been out there getting Knak AI into the wild, putting it in front of customers and a small group of respected voices in the marketing and creative community. We wanted real, unfiltered reactions as they tried it for the first time. And instead of me telling you what they said, we figured, why not show you? So here are their live reactions, what stood out, what they loved, and how they see this shaping the future.
Hi, I'm Jay Schwedelson. I am the founder of Guru Media Hub.
I'm Sara McNamara, and I lead revenue operations and GTM strategy at Vector.
Hello there, I'm Darrell Alfonso, marketing operations leader.
Hi folks, my name is Phil Gamache. I'm the creator and founder of Humans of Martech.
Hey, I'm Dave Gerhardt. I'm the founder of Exit 5.
Hey everybody, I'm Mike Rizzo, CEO and founder of marketingops.com.
I don't know if I can say this, but I'm going to say it. This is like stupid proof. Like I could even do this. And that's another thing that's very, very cool about what this is doing here. I am not a good prompter at all. Like I go to any of the AI tools and I say, how do you write a prompt for this? And it gives me back and I go back and forth. So I'm not a good prompter. But what I like about this tool is that you don't need to be an AI expert and you don't need to be an email expert. Like this allows your organization to have people that are totally net new to creating emails or even interacting with AI tools to be able to step in and help create campaigns.
Oh, nice. So yeah, just took some of the text from that article. It brought in Nick's face as the author. This is so cool, and it would save teams so much time to use this versus having to either prompt every little tiny detail in the prompt itself, which is almost just recreating the work, right, in a different format.
I like how you upload the brief. I feel like that's really the normal workflow of work when you're creating email campaigns. I like this one. This is where she's creating a webinar or a blog email and has Nick's photo there. Big time saver. All right, so we're taking a look at the email that was automatically generated. Again, big time saver.
This is wild. Yeah, I mean the image, like the email itself looks really nice. I know we're able to like pick themes and stuff, but like I'm trying to think of the amount of time saved here, and it's pretty wild.
I'm laid up on the couch right now after I had a little hip surgery, but I think this has amazing potential for marketers out there. AI is one of the greatest things to happen to marketing because it's going to allow marketers like me to be able to do more without having to rely on developers needing to know how to code. And seeing what I just saw with the Knak AI stuff, I think I would be super bullish on this if I was a marketer.
Oh, and check this out. The brand colors are like spot on. I don't think I've even uploaded my brand kit yet. All right, so I checked out the Optimize tab, so it's giving me some ideas here on like how to improve this email. And I love the ability to collaborate right in line and just highlight a section and make a comment to my team. That's really helpful.
Really excited for this. I'm excited for the world to see this. I want everyone to first go and try to create an email without this tool, like from the scratch. And then I want you to go and use this tool to create it using this tool. And then you'll fully understand what's going on here and why this matters. So Knak, you're crushing it. Love it all.
So I really like how flexible and smart it is. It looks like it's trained very well on email specific use case. And I'm excited to see where this goes.
I think this is going to change the way email operations is done, period. It also means that you will need a different level of talent. Like you don't need as technical talent to do this stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think Knak already streamlined email creation and email marketing, and this changes the game just yet again.
All right, so I've had the chance to play with Knak's new AI campaign creation tool and super impressed, honestly, really excited about the pace of change here. Like just this idea of going from a couple of words, a prompt, an idea, not even an idea, just like I have a bunch of content and this thing that I'm trying to do, like go from words into an actual rendered email with HTML, ready for Figma, ready for translation. It's pretty wild how fast it is. So yeah, kudos. Excited to see where this goes.
And it seems like they have a cool new update cooking with Knak AI and all the stuff that they're doing with AI and email and landing page creation. So definitely go and check them out if you are interested and in the market for something new on the email side, or just want to get smarter and more effective and more efficient using AI in your email marketing.
I am pretty pumped for what Knak is doing on the AI side of things here. And if it's just starting with email, which is actually one of the more tedious things for people to build, most of us don't realize it, or at least those that have never built an email. It sounds really simple in theory, but there's a lot to it. Pretty excited for what you guys are doing.
Amazing. Big thank you to all of you for jumping in and sharing your first impressions. It means a lot, and it really helps shape where we take this next. Rod, back to you.
Thank you so much for that, and excited to take the mic. As Pierce mentioned earlier, as we built out our exciting new campaign creation capabilities, we focus on solving 3 key hard problems for our customers. Number 1, Knak is more than just copy. You don't want to write in one tool and build in another. You want one platform for the entire workflow. You want a tool where you can create copy and the structure for an email and landing page. Number 2, no templates or code required. Templates are rigid. They limit creativity and they limit AI. We believe you can leverage Knak AI with any starting point, whether it's a brief, an asset, a template, or just your thoughts. Number 3, fine-grained editing without prompt whack-a-mole. You get full drag and drop editing and prompt-based control. Now, let's take some time to focus on the future. You may be asking yourself, what's next for Knak? Well, on the heels of our exciting announcement today, we have a few other key initiatives that we're working on for 2026 and beyond, and I'm going to walk you through them. First up, we're going to finish up and do end-to-end campaign generation, and it's coming very soon. Customers will be able to create full end-to-end campaigns, including multiple emails and landing pages in one go. Speaking of full power, vibe editing is going to be a follow-up item to what we have here. And what is that exactly? Everyone keeps talking about it. Everyone wants to know. I want to know. That way, with vibe editing, you can not only edit with our amazing editor, but you can also prompt to edit. So you have the best of both worlds. You can use your own words, your own natural language to harness your creativity and to tell Knak AI what you want done. And it'll take those and it'll do it for you. It's going to be a real vibe. One of the biggest questions that we also keep getting asked is how data is going to inform campaign generation. Well, we've been investing in a proprietary performance database for about the past year, and it's captured email performance for hundreds of millions of emails, and we're very excited about it. This database is going to help inform the decisions that Knak AI makes when it's creating your emails and your landing pages. And that's going to be done via feeding that information into the AI agents as they're doing that. Others base their generation on best practices. Knak AI will base asset generation on methods proven to drive results for you. And this database is very, very key for that. Switching gears, if you know me, one of my passions in life is open APIs. That's been one of Knak's core ethos as well, too. As we look into the future, the same value is going to apply for Knak AI. To unlock that for Knak AI, we've taken great care to architect our models to be multi-model. That means in the future, our customers can choose which models they want to use. That includes first-party models that we know our customers are already developing. Via this capability, our customers can leverage the models that understand them the best and drive the best results. Finally, we've heard over and over again, our customers love using Knak. They love to build emails and landing pages using our product. They entrust their brand with us. But they've been asking us for years now to Knakify other assets that they're also building. Well, we're excited to announce that in the future, we'll be getting into the creation of banner ads, social media ads, SMS, and other channels to make Knak a truly multi-channel product. Now, I'll pass it over to someone who's been in many of your shoes as an enterprise marketer and marketing ops leader for well over a decade. Our co-founder, Brendan. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Rod. I appreciate that intro. I'm actually wearing my own shoes today. So anyway, hey everyone, excited to be joined by Jeff Canada from OpenAI. I'm going to let Jeff introduce himself and his role at OpenAI, but I wanted to tell a little story first. So I recently caught up with Jeff after he went on vacation for a week and asked him, hey Jeff, what did you do on your vacation? And I'm thinking, look, this guy works at OpenAI. He probably spent a week optimizing his life with AI agents or building some LLM powered productivity workflow to make them toast in the morning. But you know what Jeff said? He said, I went off grid and baked sourdough bread over a fire in the middle of the desert. And I just sat there thinking, well, of course, this makes complete sense, and actually probably is maybe the most open AI thing ever. But you basically literally invent the future Monday to Friday, and then go kind of full mountain man on the weekend. But anyway, Jeff, thrilled to have you here. Jeff is not only building the future over there at OpenAI, he's also using Knak inside of OpenAI. Jeff was hired as the very first marketing operations leader in the company's history. He was brought in to architect their martech stack, bring structure to their explosive growth, and to define how one of the world's most influential companies brings campaigns to market. So no pressure, Jeff. And thanks for joining us, and thanks for trusting us with your campaigns. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Brendan. It's great to be here. My name's Jeff Canada, and like Brendan said, I run our B2B marketing operations at OpenAI. I've been here for a year and 7-8 months. Have a few more gray hairs, but it's been a fun and wild ride.
Right on. And look, Jeff, before we get into Knak, take us inside marketing ops at one of the fastest growing companies in history. What does that look like day to day? And what are the kind of the unique challenges that you're solving for?
Yeah, well, there's some aspects of my job that look a lot like probably a lot of the other people on this call today. There's pieces that I had to put into place to make sure that I had a good foundation. There's the data, there's the process, there's the technology. When I started, we had none of that. We couldn't even send an email. Like, it all came from no reply at HubSpot.com. Like, there were no emails being sent when I started. So there was a lot that I did in the first year just to build that foundation, because AI is not this like magical panacea that's going to like do everything for you. If you don't have good data, if you don't have good process, if you don't have good technology to support it, you're not going to have good AI. So that's been the big focus of the first year that I was here. The last 6 to 7 months have been really kind of throwing out the playbook and trying to think about what marketing ops should be, not what marketing ops has been.
Right on. Wow. And so, Jeff, at OpenAI, you guys have more AI horsepower than certainly anyone on this planet. So why Knak? What made your team look at Knak and say, you know what, this solves a real problem for us?
Well, again, like probably a lot of people on this call, I'm a team of 2. I was a team of 1 for the first year. And I'll let you in on a little secret, but one of my least favorite things is building emails. So yeah, sorry. But that's why I brought on Knak. We weren't sending any emails, and actually getting an email out the door was taking upwards of a week to get all the approvals, to get all of the tests back and forth, changes in multiple different systems, tweaks to, periods and all of this stuff. It was super, super painful. So I brought in Knak to solve that very like real problem. And I also brought in Knak because I knew you guys were building stuff for the future. It wasn't just about solving the email problem and the landing page problem. It was about having a tool that is vendor agnostic, can send through all of the different platforms through which I'm sending emails, and makes it super easy and efficient. So I'm not just there copying and pasting and tweaking and, editing HTML and sending a test and waiting for somebody to get back to me on Slack, or making a change in a Google Doc, and then I have to figure out what change was happening where. And it took a really painful process and made it super, super easy. And it's super forward looking. We're having this conversation today because you guys are really building at the forefront of the future of marketing operations.
Right on. Right on. And speaking of the future of marketing operations, Jeff, you had early access to what we're announcing here today. what was your honest reaction when you first tried it? Was there a moment where you thought, this is really going to change how marketers work?
Yeah, I mean, I was really excited. I was really excited to take a brief, take a Google Doc, upload it, and just let the system build. It, again, took days long process into hours, into now minutes. It takes something that's kind of painful of copying and pasting and, like, making sure everything's looking all good and whatever, and just does it for me. It gets me so far along in the process that now I can actually trust more of my marketing team to do things on their own and to get it that far along, make all the adjustments, and then I can go in and focus on the stuff that I actually really like to do, which is optimizing for outcomes, making sure that these emails are driving results for the business, not making sure that this like return didn't add an extra line break, or that the dimensions of the image were, too small or whatever. Like, marketers love to do that kind of stuff. I don't. I like to focus on the other side.
Yeah, you mentioned outcomes there, Jeff. I know you're a big outcomes guy. So, from your vantage point, what does this launch actually do for OpenAI in terms of outcomes? Like, is this going to change your team's approach to campaign creation, speed, workflow, etc.?
One of the most tangible outcomes that I've gotten already from Knak, and what this new tool is going to continue to give me, is probably the most valuable asset, which is time. It cuts down the process from being weeks long, days long, hours long, to being just minutes. I can do a couple of like fine tuning pieces to what is created, and then I can spend my time to make sure that the actual emails are doing what they're supposed to be doing. To be perfectly honest, I was getting so bogged down by this process, I just didn't care at the end of the day. I just wanted to get the email out the door. So I didn't have time to run more tests, to add additional variations, to customize the emails to the different audiences that I'm sending to. I just wanted to get it the hell out the door because I was tired of looking at it over the course of, a week. Now I have the time to optimize. I can build more versions of the same email super, super, super quick. Whereas, like I said, before I just wanted to get them out the door. Now I can do much more to drive those meaningful business outcomes. And I can report those back to the business instead of like, oh, we got this open rate, which doesn't really mean a whole lot these days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And look, one of the biggest questions, Jeff, that we get is all around quality and brand voice. And when you use Knak AI inside of OpenAI, like, how close did it actually come to getting something that you could actually ship? And what was the level of quality and control that you had over that?
Yeah, I mean, in the first kind of testing, I needed some additional tweaks, but now it's getting me pretty damn close. It's getting me like 80 to 90% of the way there, so that I can go and do all the checks that I would do even if a human was building this. And I'm continuing to iterate and figuring out how it's working, what's working well, some of the mistakes that it might continue to make, and making sure I'm adjusting the prompts, the system, to be suited for this new shift in how we're prompting and feeding this information into the system. So is it perfect? No. And I don't expect anything to be perfect. I'm not perfect. I make a lot of mistakes. They make their way onto LinkedIn sometimes, but I do make mistakes. This isn't perfect. They're not necessarily mistakes, but just like nuances that I've learned that I haven't written down into my brand guidelines in Knak, that I was like, oh, I need to add in this one little thing so that there's a little bit more. I don't know what the example is, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, for sure. And I think all the marketers out there can relate with that kind of thing. So Jeff, you're kind of right on the bleeding edge of where AI is headed. Just get me into your head. The Jeff. I want to see the Jeff vision. What does the future of campaign creation look like from your perspective?
thought you were just going to ask about the future. I would have said I would have been in the desert making sourdough on coals and open fire, but
Yeah. You already did that.
I already did that.
Pass.
I'll do it again, I'm sure. I think from a campaign ops perspective, it's a shift. It's a shift. There's a shift that's happening in how we operate, both as marketing operators, but also as marketers in general. And I see the future being a shift from this like campaign push that we do a lot as marketers. We've got this campaign and we're pushing this messaging out to this almost give and take. And I think that AI is actually giving us what we've kind of been talking about for a while, but giving us the opportunity to really start to meet people where they're at, really make these like quick decisions and optimize what we're sending to people and how we're communicating with our prospects and our customers better. It's not going to be about, hey, I've got these 5 emails and I'm just going to push them out to you with a day break in between. It's going to shift to being, hey, I've got this collection of messaging that I want to get in front of people, but I want to make sure that it's resonating, and I'm going to tweak it and optimize and kind of be this like bot commander where you've got different dials that you're turning up and turning down based on the outcomes, instead of just like, here's this message, send it out. I want to tweak. I want to play with all the dials, and I think we're getting there. It's just going to take some time for the technology to get there, and it's getting there real quick. But we also have to be the stewards of this new shift within our organizations and help marketers start thinking a little bit differently. It's going to be a different way of approaching marketing. And as the technologists, we're the leaders there, because the consumers and the prospects and our customers are going to be expecting it really, really soon.
Yeah, totally love that. And love what you said about being able to tweak, right? Like having you or your marketers or human beings being able to do that kind of tweaking of, every campaign or future of campaign that is going to be delivered to your audience, right? It makes a lot of sense. So tell me, Jeff, what is, we're talking about the future. What does ChatGPT and Knak together look like in your mind?
I mean, I would love to be able to just like kick off a campaign and start the process to work with my colleagues within a chat, which is the container of a campaign, to agree on kind of the direction, and then kick that over to Knak to build the emails, do all the stuff that it does so well, of like building it agnostic of which way I'm sending it, and actually like then move on to the next piece, which is maybe a different bot that's going into my data warehouse and helping me build an audience based on the stuff that I'm doing. So really it's this like centralized like AI command center calling out to the different like agents or bots or whatever they are to help me execute on the different pieces that I'm trying to accomplish, and then continue to adjust based on how it's performing or not performing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. Using performance to kind of inform how you're building and what you're building, that kind of thing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, really neat. Nice. And what is that? What do you feel like that would unlock? Does that kind of paint the picture of what you described earlier, that future of campaigns for you and for OpenAI?
Yeah, I mean, I think it unlocks this like strategic aspect of a marketing operations, of a marketer's role. Like we can really start to be a lot more strategic and really move into this like outcomes-based function, as opposed to being a little bit more reactive, a little bit more like, oh, I'm overwhelmed because I'm just one person trying to do all of this stuff. It gives me the time to do the things that I'm really good at and not waste so much time on copying and pasting, on like formatting lists, on doing all of this stuff that like is an unfortunate part of our job, but doesn't have to be. And I'm not sad to give that to an agent or to a bot or to whatever. I'm stoked because if I have to break one more full name column into first name and last name, I'm going to scream.
I love it. You heard it here first. Jeff is stoked. I love it. Thank you, Jeff. That was super valuable. Really, really appreciate your time and you being here today. Especially, in your role kind of at the forefront of AI every day, super valuable. Again, thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, and I'll go ahead and pass it over to Jenny.
Wow, how is everybody feeling? I know I'm inspired. I am stoked, just like Jeff. Well, we've come to the end of our event, but it's really just the beginning of the next era. Thank you all for joining us today, and a huge thank you to Pierce, Rod, Kate, Brendan, Jeff, and the experts who shared their early reactions with us. We're incredibly grateful for your time, your insight, the energy you brought to what's coming next. If you're interested in learning more or would like a personalized demo, just click the link in the chat. Our team would love to show you what this could look like for your organization. Thank you again for spending this time with us. We really can't wait to see what this next era of AI campaign creation unlocks for you and your teams. Thank you.